What's happening? Are we on, Don?
We are on, my brother.
All right. Give the introduction, bro. I went last time. We're going to go back and forth. Go ahead, give the introduction.
Okay. This is the Underway Podcast. I am your host, one of your hosts, Donald. Call me Dondi, Chunky A, whatever you choose to call me, Anderson. Just tune in. And I am joined this week by my serious, velvety voice co host from Buffalo, New York, Michael, the Voice Hicks.
Hello, everybody. How are you? Little NCM jazz. I think I taught everybody last week what NCM stands for, non-copywritten music. So this is what we got going on in the background. Nice little intro. What do you think?
I dig it.
And I can dig it, no doubt. So we're going to bring that down slowly like the pros do. And remember where I placed it so we can go out with the same thing. All right. All right, Don.
Well, see that right there. It was good, man. It's a good week so far. Want to thank everybody for tuning in to the last podcast. And let me work on myself. I got to stop saying when I go back, and I don't like to listen to myself, but when I do, there are some things that I try to not do. And saying is one of them. But anyway, thank you all for listening.
We both do that, man. You know, because if it's not scripted, you're always going to fill in blanks with and but this, that, you know, so it's a human thing, man. And in time we'll get better. So go, do your thing.
100%, man. So like I said, we thank y'all for tuning into the Underway Podcast. We appreciate you listening on Spotify, if that's where you're listening right now, or if you are watching us on YouTube. We thank you for tuning in to the Underway Podcast. Thank you all so much. We thank you all. We see the views. We see your comments in the comments section. We appreciate your feedback, and feel free as you watch. And if you have anything that you would like to say to us, put it in the comments, and we'll answer the comment, or we'll definitely respond. So feel free, please. But anyway, we thank you for tuning in once again to YouTube and to Spotify. And we're trying to get the podcast up on other platforms. But so far right now, we are at Spotify and YouTube. I did try to get us on Apple. I'm not sure how that worked. Anybody out there that's on Apple, search for us at Underway on Apple Podcasts. Let me know if we're on there or not. I'm not entirely sure, but I haven't exactly seen. But I did put our RSS feed on there. So we'll see what happens. Well, thank you for listening.
Absolutely. First and foremost, to all the people I sent out the link to, thank you for responding. You know, our views and subscriptions have crept up, and we will, take the creep. You know what I mean? We're not asking for, 1 million subscribers immediately. Hopefully we'll get to that. You know what I mean? But we have to earn that, and we earn that by giving you real adult, mature, fun conversation. So back to your week, brother. How was that?
My week was pretty good. Nothing really exciting. Got back to work after 3 weeks off. So,
it's always tough, man.
It's very tough.
Always tough, man.
It's very tough, man. It's tough when you're, when you take those 3 weeks off, and then you got to go back and get back to the grind. But I can tell you this: I thank God that I've worked my job for 20 plus years, and I can say this, that when I used to take vacation when I first started the company, it was a lot different because my job was a lot different. Let's just say it was a lot harder.
Right.
Whereas now it's not that difficult. So it was pretty, this is like getting back on the horse or the bicycle, whatever they say, bro. You just get back on, do what you got to do. I feel like I'm at that stage now, man, where, I'm an old head at the job. I'm an OG.
Yeah. And that is for all the people out there that listen to the show that don't know how a union facility works. It's like a government job. The older and the longer you've been there and the older you get, you know all the moves, you know how to move. And if you've developed or earned a really great reputation, people don't bother you. They just let you do your job, man. And you go about your business. And it's very hassle-free as opposed to first walking in the door. I know I had a plethora of problems when I being young and having a really a job filled with responsibility, man. Even though I have the structure and the discipline to do it, it was just like, man, I got to I got to work. What? I got to work this weekend too, and it was just tough. So you have to make a choice. And if you hang in there, especially in the union facility, it gets easier and easier and easier.
Yeah, definitely, man. It gets easier, and that's I've been blessed enough to be able to work a union job since 19 let me say 97, 90 no,
Hmm.
96, I think 96. My
Hmm.
first union job was working at a mill. I worked at a paper mill, and that was
Hmm.
cool. But like Mike said, when you have a job like that, and when you start off, man, let me tell you, you're gonna get some menial jobs, brother. It's good because you're in the union, but let me tell you, yeah,
You're gonna earn your keep.
you're gonna earn your keep working
You're
in
gonna earn your
a
keep.
working in a paper mill where it's like 200 degrees in that joint, and they need to clean out some stuff. Guess who's gonna get that job? You are. So,
That's the name of the game, man. But it's no different than, again, like when we talked about our time in the military.
oh
Same
yeah,
thing. You got there doing things that you didn't see on the commercials,
oh
or you didn't see on the posters hanging in the recruiter's office. So it's all about discipline, man, and drive and end goal. And you have to have something in mind, and just keep pushing. It's the game. What that's
yeah,
life. That's life. Like I always tell my players whenever I coach, and I got this from the great late John Wooden. If you fail to prepare, prepare to fail. That's life in general. That's not just sports. That's not just it's any aspect of life. If you fail to prepare, prepare to fail. All right. So
John
that's
Wooden, coach of the UCLA Bruins
that's right. One
men's
of the greatest ever
basketball.
do it. Yep. One of the greatest to ever do it. Arguably the best college coach who's ever walked the planet. No
Uh,
doubt about it.
well, let me ask you this: how come you didn't hit with a a Marv Levy quote?
Because Marv Levy is, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say Marv Levy was a Rhodes Scholar. I
He
believe when
was
he
a
was in
smart
college.
dude, sure.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, it was like his motivational speeches were like the great Winston Churchill once said. It's like these dudes don't even know who Winston Churchill. I don't know who Winston Churchill. I had to go look it up when
Hmm.
Marv started quoting stuff. So he wouldn't just say General Patton stuff and John Wayne stuff. He would just, you know, as Colonel so and so once said, and I just, yeah, man. So yeah, I can't remember Marv's quotes, so that's why I don't quote Marv too tough. But he had one of the great ones that they put on NFL films. Where would you rather be than right here, right now? That was I said, yeah, that
Yes,
was the one
sir.
that one to get you. So Marv did speak layman's terms to some of us, and that was if you played football and your coach said something like that, it's run through a brick wall time, no question about
And it's funny you say that because I was just about to say Marv Levy was an NFL Films fixture.
it.
He,
Absolutely,
my man was always on that joint. You know what I mean?
absolutely,
Marv Levy.
absolutely. A lot of
He
respect for him.
yeah,
A lot of
absolutely. And I
respect,
believe
and
he's
he
still
was at
with
the Hall of
us.
he was at the Hall of Fame induction yesterday.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, man,
Okay.
98 years old, man. They called his name, man. He got up out of his chair. He looks good, man. He looks good to be, unassisted to get up out of a chair at 98. But Marv always took care of himself. You could always see him, not around here, not around
Mhm.
my neighborhood, but where out Orchard Park, man, he would be, walking him and his wife, him and his dog. So Marv kept it moving. So yeah, he is reaping the benefits of an active life, man.
Well, let me ask you this. Now, does he have a Hall of Fame jacket?
I believe Marv Levy is a Hall of Fame, yeah, inductee.
He should be
Um,
if he's not. I mean, he definitely should
yeah,
be
I
in there. I
believe he
mean,
is. I believe he is. No question. I think he is.
okay.
I think he is. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure about that. But so you were telling me in the setup something about your next career. You know, to those that don't know, Michael is a we don't call him I don't call him the voice for no reason, just so y'all know. Not just because he's a podcast uh host, but also because Michael likes to dabble in a little singing. You know,
Just a little.
Tony Bennett has left us a void. So we need somebody that could slide into that saloon singer role. So Mike, he gonna
No,
try he might take his talents to Vegas one of these days.
yeah, because for instance, my week, same thing. Uneventful, a little bit of work, come home, this, and that. I did have a busy weekend, however. Friday, I came home and toured around, did a few things. My wife had a wedding. Uh, Her and my sister-in-law attended a wedding of a family friend, so they did that. Saturday, the pictures I showed you. Saturday, myself and my cousin Johnny annually, we always take a 25, 30-mile bike ride in the summer. So yesterday we went to Niagara Falls, and they have a bunch of trails along the falls, to where you're almost in Canada when you finish. So we got up to the Lewiston Queenston Bridge, which is another bridge beside the Peace Bridge that takes you from Buffalo to Canada. So that one is a little further than the Peace Bridge. The Peace Bridge is on the west side of Buffalo. Lewiston Queenston is closer to Canada. So we rode our bikes all up through the trails, through the wilderness, dirt trails, the paved trails, this and that. Beautiful, man. I sent down some pictures, the falls. We're right there on the American side. Don, when you and Mike and your wife went when you were here, I believe you guys went to the Canadian side, correct?
No, we went to the New York side.
Okay, yeah, because okay, that's where you get on the Maid of the Mist
Cave
stuff.
of
That's right.
Winds.
Cave Winds, that's right. Because the Maid of the Mist line was like a welfare cheese line, man. Because we got there about 7 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because the trails were empty. A lot of a few joggers here and there, things like that. But by the time we came back from Lewiston, the park was crowded. It was absolutely crowded, man, with all kind of people. And yeah, it was really busy up there. It is a worldwide and international must see site. So if you've never been to the falls, or this part of New York, do yourself a favor, and Don can attest to it. To witness the power and the beauty of the falls up close is unprecedented. It's like nothing you've ever seen. No question
Definitely.
about it. It's right
Definitely.
along with the Grand Canyon and all those great uh, national wonders that natural national wonders that we have. So yeah, well, I was telling Don about, how it is with dreams, right? You can hear something, let's say on the radio, or you can hear something on TV, and then you'll dream some type of relation to whatever you heard. That's just how the subconscious mind works. It's baffling. I don't want to get too deep on y'all, but anyway, I'm in my car, and you're gonna miss my loving. By I'm sure everybody's mama of a certain age or grandmother, that was their song by Lou Rawls.
Yes,
You know what
sir.
I mean? You know what I'm saying? You'll never find. You can't beat Lou. You can't beat Lou. Especially that's when he was rolling. That's when he was doing the Budweiser. United Negro College Fund, hosted by Lou Rawls. So he was doing all that stuff. So go to sleep. You know what I mean? I think I went to bed fairly early because I had a busy day. Go to sleep, and I'm in this dream. This is legit, y'all. This is legit. I am up on this stage, black suit, white shirt, collars, no tie. Button two, three buttons down, nice gold chain, and I'm looking at myself from the audience, and it's me up there, one foot up on the stool, one on the ground, drink in one hand, mic in the other. So I'm singing, "You're gonna miss my loving," but I was thinking, think me and Don need a theme song. As this thing goes along. Yeah. So here we go,
Oh,
Don. This is what I
100%, man.
this is what I came up with.
Uh-oh.
You'll never find a podcast like my man Don's and mine. One that entertains you and informs you too. Now, this next part I'm going to explain to the audience.
I need the chorus.
Yeah, you can do the chorus. If you're in Vegas, you have to sing the words properly because you want
Absolutely.
that old money. So Lou sang it like, "Oh, I'm not bragging on myself, baby." So we say baby.
Right,
Us
right, right.
Barclay folks say baby. But if it was me to keep that senior citizen money, that Social Security checks coming in, "Oh, I'm not bragging on myself, baby. But there's no if and buts or maybes." So you got to do it properly to keep that audience in there. You understand what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? So yeah. So that's me and Don on bragging on ourselves, baby. But there's no if and buts or maybes. You're gonna love this podcast. You're gonna love
That's
this
my
podcast.
podcast.
You're gonna love this. I know you're gonna love this podcast. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. So
Yes,
if this
sir. I
falls
like
through,
that. I'm feeling it.
this falls through, I'm out of here. Y'all can see
And
me at Caesars or MGM or whatever. in that
100%,
same
man.
suit, shirt open. And then you got to have a handkerchief, not a pocket square. See, the handkerchief's got to dangle, you know, so when you can go, thank you. You guys are so beautiful. I'll be here all week. Tip your waitresses.
You know, the
So you
only
got to
thing,
have
the only thing, and what would make that even better is if the Jerry Lewis telethon was still on. We could get you on there. You know what I mean? I could come in behind you. We could get on that joint. Let me get me a nice a sky blue tuxedo or something, boy. I could hit the background like Sammy
it.
Davis used to do back in the day. Yeah, man. Chicka, chicka, Yeah, something like that.
I knew a man named Bojangles and he danced for you. The old
Yo,
soft
so
shoe.
shoe.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so yeah, so if Jerry was there, that next we have a young man coming up, and Mike and Don. Mike and Don, you may know him from the podcast, but these guys sing as well. Mike and Don, please take us away.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Jerry's kids. And that will be coming up too. What's that? Labor Day, I think.
yeah,
For
that's
the
what's that
MDA.
called? Yeah,
MDA.
muscular dystrophy
MDA.
association telethon. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And
And
then
we
we
do one
also
here too. We do one here too. We do a local one too. That coincides with that.
hmm
Yeah.
we I was gonna say that also many of you all know out there that I work for the Postal Service, and that's the letter carrier's official charity, the Muscular Dystrophy Association,
Mm.
aka Jerry's Kids. That's what we do every year. We give a great big donation to them, and we also have a fundraising thing for them. So yeah, man, awesome. I would love to. I'm down, man. I can't wait to get out there to Vegas. I would love to do the Underway podcast. I hope we can do our first live podcast in Las Vegas, man. That would be from the Strip. That would be awesome. That'd be awesome. I'm ready, brother. Just send
Yeah.
me
See,
the lyrics. Let me
by then we'll have some.
practice.
Yeah, by then we'll have some visibility, and
Absolutely.
then we go, hey, Mike and Don and Mike, what's
Yeah,
up,
absolutely.
guys?
Yeah,
Oh, we're here tonight.
live from Caesars MGM, where it's called at the Fountains. It's the Underway podcast.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, that was the fun part, party people. And we're getting into some more fun stuff. We got a rundown that Don sent me. So we'll be talking a little bit about what we got on the list here.
Well, it's a football Sunday, y'all. It's a football Sunday. It's NFL time. We already had the Hall of Fame game. We had the New York Jets versus the Cleveland Browns. I thought we were
Okay.
going to get the debut of Aaron Rodgers, but when
Ah,
I tuned into the game, I didn't even get Barry Rodgers. So it was Aaron Rodgers didn't even dress for the game. So look,
he
this
was
is
chilling. He was
chilling.
chilling. I mean, come on, man. Honestly, I mean, Watson didn't play, did he?
Nah, Deshaun was chilling too, and it's fun.
Yeah,
Funny
yeah.
enough, I forgot he even played for Cleveland.
Yeah, it's like that, man. He's going to definitely have to make some he's going to have to make a splash this year cuz like I said, he is actually forgotten, really. That's not
Mm-hmm.
a that's an innocent mistake anybody can make. I mean, he was Houston. He was Houston Texans court. That's all we knew. And then his unfortunate situation came up and then he's shipped off to Cleveland. Well, not shipped off. I mean, he got broke off in
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland. You know what I mean? Got a gang of money and then he didn't come up until week 11, I believe. So of course he didn't have his sea legs under him. So it was a you know kind of a lost year. So we'll see what he can do, man. He's starting from scratch this year, but he's still
Lamar,
going to be getting harassed or something vicious. You know that.
oh yeah, of course. Lamar Jackson is not like Lamar. Duh. Well, what I wanted to say is Deshaun Watson is the reason Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, uh, Jalen Hurts,
Everybody,
Joe Burrows, those top guys, and the boy out there in San Diego helped me. I should know.
Herbert.
Yeah, Justin Herbert. I should know him because that bum screwed me in my fantasy last year. But yeah, Justin Herbert. He's the reason all these guys have asked for 200 million, and a number of them, including Lamar, thought he was going to get a guarantee because Cleveland was crazy enough to guarantee Deshaun Watson's whole deal.
All that bread. All
Yeah,
that bread.
Baltimore was like, "Nah, we're not going to guarantee all of it. We might guarantee your signing bonus. We might guarantee a certain percentage. But we definitely not going to guarantee everything. If Cleveland is
Oh,
crazy enough to go out there and guarantee it, of all people, Deshaun Watson's money. I'm not saying Deshaun Watson, hey, great football player historically, but
right.
he had to sit out a whole season because of the whole massage parlor, or whatever he was doing, scandal, and then to think that you could expect him to come, get traded to the Browns, and then the Browns would be crazy enough to guarantee his contract. It's unbelievable. Great job by his agent to be able to get that done. I don't know who his agent is, but he did a fantastic job there.
Absolutely. That's the game, though, man. That's the game. But these guys are definitely going to get a lot of money for that position. And then you look at the devaluing of the or the devaluation, or however you pronounce it, of the running back.
Yeah, it's
They
crazy,
are they
man.
are on a mission not to pay any of them dudes. None. They're on a
Yeah.
mission, man. So I think the days of what Zeke got and all them do, it's over with, man. It's over. It's
I
over.
I think what's going to have to happen for the running backs is they're going to have to get their money in that first contract. So
Hmm.
if they're like say Bijan Robinson, who got what he got drafted this year by the Atlanta Falcons. I'm not sure where he get
Yeah, he was
drafted.
first
Number
rounder.
7, I think.
He's top 10, no
Yeah,
doubt.
top 10 running back,
Hmm.
somebody like that. I don't know what he got paid, but that might be the biggest contract he gets, depending on how his career goes. Because like what's my man's name? Nick Chubb said from the Cleveland Browns. He said
Hmm.
the problem is I could come out here and rush for 2,000 yards, and the next year the team will say I'm probably broke down, or that I basically blew
Yeah,
my wad. I'm not going to be the same type of player. So
yeah,
you
they
know,
got him. They got him in a 4-1-1, a full Nelson. They got him. They got him,
damned
man.
if you do, damned if you don't, man.
Yeah, because the owners are unanimous on that. They've all agreed that okay, guys, let's blackball or downgrade this or devalue this position. So it's happening. It's happening, man. So yeah, it's a passing league, and even as we saw or we've seen as fantasy football participants,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't stock up on receivers, you know what I mean. Those are the ones that pretty much salvage your season, depending on who you have.
Let me challenge that thought, though. Everybody keeps saying it's a passing league, but my question is
Hmm.
why? Why does it have to be a passing league? If
More
you
exciting.
like, yeah, yeah, I mean that's great. But if I'm a coach and I'm trying to win games, I'm gonna run the football. I'm gonna get me a big old corn-fed offensive line. I'm gonna
Hmm.
build my offensive line. I'm gonna get me a nice running back, and we're gonna control the clock. I never understood this mentality where it says that football today has to be spread out your receivers, 4 and 5 wide receivers. You throw it on every down. You're basically letting the defense know what you're gonna do.
That's
To
true.
me, that don't make any sense, man. I mean, I understand that it's fun and people like to see an up and down game, but I'm just saying if I was a coach, I probably would get fired in my first year, man. If I'm being honest, if I was a head coach, because I'm gonna try to run smash mouth football on people. That's how I would do it, man. I think that's how you win football games still in the National Football League. Matter of fact, I think on any level, Mike, you go back to your high school team.
Hmm.
I bet you your high school team or the team that you ultimately lost to, if they were a good team, you ran you if you didn't win it all, if you didn't win a New York State championship,
Hmm.
all right. I can go back to Pennsylvania when I was in school. The team that won the state title, you best believe they had a powerful running game, man. And they ran
Oh
that
yeah.
ball down your throat. And you know what? It's the worst feeling in the world when it's 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. You know it's coming and you can't stop it.
Yeah, I mean, because if you think about it, we have a shipmate who's a coach, and some running back
Oh, absolutely.
ran for 365 yards on him.
Oh man. Yes, he did.
360, and guess what? That's a win. You're not
Absolutely.
as a solo act or as a committee. If you rush for 300 yards in the
Huh.
game, you're going to win because that means you have possessed that ball a majority of the time you played that game. You know what I mean? You kept it away from the other team's offense by running it and running it and running it. So yeah, I agree with it 100%. And yeah, of course, as you go back to high school, and it was an era thing as well. I mean, I played in the 80s. So yeah, if you had an offensive line who could run block and you had a man middle of the road running back, if he's getting 4 or 5 yards of crack, why not give it to him 3 times? That's
Yeah.
12 yards, 15 yards right there. You might sprinkle in a play action pass because everybody's so worried about this dude running. You're running up to the line, and then they might be able to hit you over the top with a track athlete who happened to come out and play wide receiver.
Hmm.
But other than that, yeah, man, it was an era of absolute smash football, and was an era of 21-17 football games, which were good games when we were growing up. So you very rarely see that. They would accuse the teams of being boring nowadays in a 21-17 match. So it's just changed so much. But I agree. Fundamentally, you have to run the ball. I agree 100%.
So what the coaches say, and I was looking into this, the coaches say, and it's funny that as we talk about this, that the creator, you could say, of the modern day NFL offense, Don Coryell, was inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame yesterday. And Eric Coryell had a simple philosophy that said that they want to make the defense guard every part of the football field. All right. So
Mhm.
whereas, if you're just a running team, the idea is that your offense is everything's going to be congested. Whereas you want to spread offense, everything is going to be spread out,
Mhm.
and you're making the defense guard more of the field like that. And to that,
Right.
I still say, yeah, I like that. But I look at your own favorite team's offense back in the day with Marv Levy. And who was the offensive coordinator? Was it Ted Plum? Was that what his name was? You remember?
Tim Archibald.
Ted March. Was he the guy that ran the offense up there?
I believe so.
So when they used to run that, I think they ran the run and shoot, if I'm not mistaken, the no huddle offense up there.
Yeah.
Your boy Thurman
Which
Thomas was eating
which
up.
they stole from the Cincinnati Bengals.
Sure.
Sam Weish is the creator of the no huddle offense.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Weish
But he probably got
doesn't
it
get
from Eric
credit for it.
Coryell, though.
Yeah, but they weren't no huddle. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
you talking about no huddle.
Yeah,
Okay.
you talking about, oh yeah, no huddle. Eric
Mm-hmm.
Coryell was strictly the pass opens up the run.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you remember, they had fine running backs. They had Chuck Muncie, they had Lionel Little Train James. Um, who else they have? James Brooks. So they had running backs that could run that rock. But in their case, when you got a John Jefferson and a Wes Chandler and a Kellen Winslow and
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Joyner in the slot, you got to throw that ball on Dan Fouts, Grizzly Adams throwing it all over the place. Yeah, Eric Coryell just knew what and what team did he come from before he came to San Diego?
You got me, man. I should know. I should know that because I just saw it yesterday. Who was it?
He came from the St. Louis Cardinals.
Right, right.
And there he had Jim Hart, Mel Gray, wide receiver, and Terry Metcalf, Eric Metcalf's daddy, as a running back slash receiver. So he developed that in St. Louis and then took it to San Diego. And of course, with the talent they had on the ends and a quarterback like Fouts, it exploded from there. You know.
Yeah, 100%, man. Dan Fouts was one of the very prolific, never won a damn thing, but a very prolific quarterback, has a lot of great numbers. And, as I thought about that and looked at the Hall of Fame yesterday, I was thinking to myself, it's amazing who's in the Hall of Fame and who's in and who's not in. That's one of the
Yeah.
things I wanted to talk about, right off the bat here, as we
Mhm.
ease into our football conversation. Uh, my thought is there are some guys that I think should be recognized that aren't recognized. Namely, and I'm going to be a homer right off the bat. If I got it's a Philly thing hat on, I'm going to get you with a Philly guy, but I think it's justified.
Okay.
I think Randall Cunningham should be in the National Football League Hall of Fame.
I think he'll be in. And when I think he'll be in.
When?
No, I'm being dead serious.
When?
You
Because
laughing?
I
I'm
don't know
being
what
dead
you got
serious.
coming. That's why.
No, 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 this ain't no Mike Hicks comedy moment. But I think he'll get in when the dual threat quarterback is finally recognized
Okay.
as the future of football. You dig what I'm saying? Because
The
these
present.
dudes, they are sprung from the Randall Cunningham tree. You see what I'm saying? So I think I don't know how they vote. You know what I mean? It's always been a mystery how the Hall of Fame committees vote and who votes, and I don't know if it's vendetta stuff, and you just don't know. But the bottom line is, it's what someone did on the field. Because if this was a background check CIA thing, majority of these people wouldn't be in the Hall of Fame if you based it upon that. But if you based it upon on field heroics and success, you know what I mean? Randall Cunningham, of course, should be there. And I think he will be there again once Jalen Hurts and all these other dudes start really winning Super Bowls and becoming, championship quarterbacks. I think the committee will have no choice but to recognize that the dual threat quarterback stems from the Randall Cunningham tree. So he needs to be recognized for that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He deserves to be in there.
So
I
was that
think
cool? I mean, that wasn't a joke. That was a very
no.
serious.
So you started smiling. I thought you was going to say
That
when
was,
I
I'm
thought you was
always
going to
smiling.
I thought you was going to say when donkeys fly or something crazy. I didn't know what you was about to bring me.
Yeah, pigs fly out of my butt.
Yeah, exactly.
No, no,
I
I
thought
wasn't.
that,
I wasn't gonna do you like that,
I
bro.
feel like, and no disrespect to the Bills fans out there, but I'm saying if Andre Reed is in there, then Randall Cunningham and Donovan McNabb should be in there.
Wait, hold on.
I'm just
Back,
saying, bro. I mean, let's
back
be honest.
up the train.
Back
Okay,
it
back
up,
up the
bro.
train.
Back it up.
Andre Reed should not. He
I didn't
shouldn't
say
be in.
that.
Is
I
what you?
didn't say that. I said if
I'm
he's
trying to
in,
figure. I know. I'm trying to figure out what you're saying, though, man.
what you
Yo,
mean?
first of all, because he was a part of the big three, that Super Bowl offense, dude. It was Jimbo, Thurman, and then you had Andre.
Okay.
Everybody else was fill-ins, bro. He was a part of the big three. He's no different than Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman,
Hold on,
because
hold on,
they
hold on, hold on,
run
hold on. You putting Andre Reed on the same level as Michael Irvin?
as an all-pro wide receiver. Yes.
Oh, I gotta look at the stats on that one. We got
Yeah, as an all-pro wide receiver. Absolutely.
okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Matter of fact, uh, talk. Let me go ahead and pull
Yeah,
up the
I
stats. Go
mean,
ahead.
while he
Go
looks it
ahead
up,
and
I
talk.
mean,
Go ahead and talk. I'm gonna look it up because
no, no, no,
we're not going to have this.
no disrespect to Andre Reed. Andre Reed is a Kutztown University native, or excuse me, alumni graduate. As many of you may or may not know, Kutztown is in Central PA, just right up the road from Philadelphia. So yeah, while Mike looks up his statistics, I have
Okay.
never heard anybody put Andre Reed in the same sentence as Michael Irvin, and I'm saying
Okay.
he probably deserves to be in there. Let me say this. I'm not
Okay.
saying he doesn't deserve it, but I'm saying if
Okay.
he's in, then I
Clarify.
demand that Randall Cunningham is in, and I demand that Donovan McNabb is in. If Andre Reed is in, then those two should be in.
Okay, hold on.
If we're just talking about impact on the game, come on, brother.
7-time Pro Bowl receiver.
So, okay.
951 receptions, 13,198 career yards, and 87 touchdowns. Hall of Fame worthy numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if that's what we're talking about. But you're talking about me comparing him to, no, what I'm saying is, in the scheme of the big three of the Super Bowl, either winning or attending teams. Okay, in the what 2000 was the 90s? Yeah, 90s. Yeah, Philly. What they do?
Come
All
on,
them
brother.
years.
Come on now. Come
No,
on
I'm
now.
saying they were waiting on Donovan McNabb to be that dude, right?
4 straight NFC championship games. Come on now.
Championship game. Did he win them? He
No, he
won
didn't
one,
win. He
right?
won one. He did win.
Okay,
He
okay,
got to the Super
okay.
Bowl.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right, party people. Here are Michael Irvin's career stats. Right? You ready?
Go ahead.
750
Mm-hmm.
receptions.
Mm-hmm.
Andre Reed was what? 950?
Sure.
951?
And a passing offense.
Yes. 11,904 yards and 65 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Statistically, he was not better than Andre Reed throughout his career.
Okay, statistically,
Okay,
Mike.
now
Come on, Mike.
statistically,
Come on, man.
impact on the game. When you're talking about that era, you had three main running backs:
Mm-hmm.
Barry, Emmett, Thurman. Okay, during that era, the three main running backs of the 90s, dude. Yes, sir. Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith, and Thurman Thomas were the big three.
Wait a minute. I like Thurman Thomas. No disrespect, to my Buffalo brothers and
Dude,
sisters out here watching. I
look
don't
it
know
up.
about that, man.
Look
We got
it
to look.
up.
That's
Who was better? Okay, you take away Thurman, put somebody else from the 90s who was better than Thurman Thomas at that time
Jerome
as a
Bettis.
receiver, and a runner.
I can't say a receiver. No, definitely not a receiver.
No.
No,
And that's
definitely not.
yeah, right. So you put Jerome Bettis in Buffalo's offense, all he doing is running.
That's all
He
you doing.
can't
You're
catch
right.
a cold butt naked in the wintertime. You put Thurman Thomas in anybody's offense during his prime, dual threat. So when you're talking to big, and matter of fact, he was the best dual threat out of the three I just mentioned.
I'd agree.
You ain't never seen
I'm not
Barry
arguing.
catch no pass. Yeah.
How do we get
every
here?
now and then on screen?
How did we get here? I'm trying to figure out how did this happen?
Because you said that Andre Reed, if he's in,
Then Donovan.
Yeah. What?
Then Donovan belongs in, and Randall belongs, and that's a fair statement.
Randall gets in before Donovan, no question about it. If you're talking about impact on the game, like you said, I'm taking Randall before Donovan.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
I've never seen Randall vomit on the big stage.
Well, that's that.
Quite literally.
Donovan has the
He
Donovan has
earled.
denied that, so we can't
I
say it because
seen
Donovan
it.
says it
I
didn't
seen
happen.
it. I seen it, man.
Donovan
Seen
denies it,
it.
bro.
Okay. He also doesn't. He also ain't want none of Hugh Douglas either. After T.O. took him on.
No, that was
Yeah. No,
T.O.
no,
didn't want none of Hugh Douglas. That's who
no,
that was.
no,
That.
no, 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 no. T.O. had already tangled with him, and after they broke up the fight, he's like, "Yeah, I got some more for somebody down there too." And the only one standing down there was your man Donovan.
Well,
Yeah, yeah. So if
I,
T.O. who gonna take on the defensive end like it ain't no thing, that's a G.
oh yeah. Donovan didn't want none of T.O.
He ain't want he
I'm
ain't
not
want
gonna
none
argue
of
that,
that.
bro. You ain't gonna get
There you
no.
go.
You're not gonna get
Just
me to come on here and debate that
alone,
one.
just by that alone, he shouldn't be in the damn Hall of Fame.
Well, now let's think
Look
about that.
who's in front of you.
Let's think about that. Would Steve Young want any of T.O.? I mean, come on, man. Tony Romo. Who else did T.O. have as a quarterback? I don't even
Garcia,
know. Who?
Jeff Garcia.
Lord knows he don't want.
He definitely don't want that.
Who was the quarterback when he played for y'all for that year?
Dude,
You don't even
great,
remember, right? Was it
really
Tyrod
trivia
Taylor?
question.
I don't
No,
remember who that was.
no, it might have been. Oh, Trent Young. Trent. What was that dude's name? He
Trent,
came from.
the boy that came from the Rams?
No,
Nah,
no,
he
no,
could
no,
have.
no,
No
no.
way he could have been in the league still.
This dude's name was something. I don't know. He stunk. It might have been Fitzpatrick.
Okay, that sounds about right.
It
That
might have
sounds
been
right.
Fitzmagic, no doubt about it.
Hey,
And when you say
listen.
Fitzmagic, he is the greatest magician when it came to
Oh,
contracts of any quarterback who ever played the
Ryan
game.
Fitzpatrick. Absolutely, that's right. But listen, Sweet Pea, I know you out there watching and listening. Chime in, let us know if T.O. would have had anything for Fitzpatrick would have stepped up to T.O. I know he wouldn't have. So let me
Man,
ask you
listen,
this:
Fitzpatrick is a Harvard graduate. He would have Jedi mind tricked T.O.
he would have had to
It
because
would have been easy.
he didn't want no. He definitely didn't want. He didn't want no part of them hands. So
I understand you want some of me, Ryan. No, I don't want any of you. You're the greatest
nah, that.
receiver who've ever played the game. You're right, I am. And he would walk away.
Oh, okay. I was going to say you're not saying that. You're saying that's what T.O. would have said.
I'm telling you what, Ryan Fitzpatrick would have Jedi mind tricked him, and T.O. would have walked away satisfied because he would have complimented him as the greatest wide receiver ever played the game. He'd have Jedi mind tricked him to avoid a fight.
Yeah, and it's
He's a
funny.
Harvard graduate,
Smart dude.
no doubt.
Yeah. So who do you think? I gave you my guys. I gave you Randall. I gave you Donovan. Do you have anybody off the top of your head you think that belongs in the hall that you can think of?
Did Cliff Branch make it yet?
That's a great question. I'm not sure. I had to. This is we're hiring a producer for this podcast soon, so we can find somebody to look this stuff up while we're online.
Yeah,
Cliff Branch, I'm sure, is a Hall of Famer, though.
I hope so because let me see. If he's in, if Lynn Swan is in, he definitely
Oh,
should be in.
listen, now you're going to disrespect the great Lynn Swan? My
But
goodness.
Don, are we again? What is the prerequisite for making the Hall of Fame? You know what I mean? What's the prerequisite? Is it strictly stats? Is it strictly what team you're on? I mean, what is it? Because this is
That's a
why
great
it's so
question.
confusing. That's why it's so confusing.
I
Hold on.
think.
Okay, you ready?
Yes, go
This
ahead,
is
bro.
about Cliff Branch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cliff Branch. He was cited by the NFL Network as number 5 on the players not to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, noted for his speed at the position while being a wide receiver, overshadowed of his time by Pittsburgh's Lynn Swan and John Stallworth, and
Mm-hmm.
teammate Fred Biletnikoff. Now, minus Swan, whose numbers were considerably lower, Branch had comparable statistics to each of those players, as each have over 500 receptions and 8,000 yards. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's such a, I don't know, fallacy on how some of these people get into the Hall of Fame. What is it based on? I really don't know. And this is an honest question. I don't know what
Mm-hmm.
it's based on. I wish somebody, if any listeners out there know the criteria, please fill me in. Because, like I said, when you have to go and say, why isn't this person in there? And this person is, what is the criteria that the public doesn't know about?
And he's a 3-time Super Bowl champion, so you can't
That's
even
what I'm
say he didn't
saying.
win. He's a winner.
This is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Lynn Swan, if we're basing it on, and I love Lynn Swan, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're basing it on spectacular, clutch, showtime catches, yes.
Wow.
He always did his best work on the big stage. Congratulations. You're supposed to. You're a pro. But John Stallworth was the steadying force. John Stallworth was the one that allowed Lynn Swan to get open, to make the Balaic, beautiful swan like, no pun intended, catches. Okay? So I don't know who went in first, but John Stallworth should have been in before Lynn Swan. I think he went in after Lynn Swan. Again, criteria. Let me know. Somebody, please let me know.
Well, I think that if Lynn Swan went in before Stallworth, it's only because he had a shorter career. Because Lynn Swan had a number of injuries that limited his career. So
But that's another thing. You get on for not playing. The best ability is availability. Your ass ain't on the field all the time, bro. How you making the Hall of Fame? Every time you turn around, he had a damn
impact, brother.
concussion.
Impact.
Impact. Yeah, like when George Atkinson impacted his head on that crossing route. Yeah, yeah,
Impact. And
yeah.
what was
That
I
was
gonna
my
say?
yeah. Yeah, I
Uh
don't know, man, but you're making me mad right now talking that old Andre Reed stuff. And I hope Andre listening
I
because
hope
he
he is.
frequents the area, and
Oh,
that boy
does he?
still got guns.
I,
He's still built.
I clearly said no disrespect to the Andre Reed.
Nah,
I,
bro,
I said
you
I
said
said
that.
that. I
When
said that.
I said and you stopped me, that's disrespect, homie.
All I'm saying is you comparing that man to Michael Irvin. I'm not even like I'm not even a Cowboy fan. So first and
Okay,
foremost, for me to say
okay,
that,
okay. So what we talking about? What we talking about? Because statistically, Andre's better.
okay, he
Played
should be
about
better.
played about 100 more games.
Well, listen, Mike.
Hmm.
Listen to this. I mean, statistically,
Hmm.
Jim Kelly is better than Troy Aikman. But now, if you was going to do a draft, who would you take first?
Jimbo.
Oh, stop playing. Get out of
I'm
here.
taking Jim.
Get out of here. You're not even serious.
Dude, what you mean I ain't serious?
That's cap. That's cap.
Me and Jim Kelly got in an argument during a high school basketball game?
Really?
Yeah. Let me tell you this story. I, I was a I was assistant coach at Narden Academy. It's
Mm-hmm.
very prestigious all-girls school here in Buffalo, New York. And we had a pretty solid basketball program. Um, our head coach, I was assistant coach. Head coach was Kendra Brim. She played at Colgate. She was all-time leading scorer at Narden. So, she was a coach and she wanted me to come on as an assistant because I had already coached freshman basketball there and won like 2 championships, in 3 years, something like that. But anyway, I digress. But anyway, Jill Berry, which is Jill, no, Jill Kelly, I'm sorry, who is Jim's oldest daughter, played for Christian Central Academy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we played them, and Jim was there with a bunch of his brothers. I mean, Jim got like 5 brothers, and they were always, loud, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, good dudes, but they were loud, man. So halftime, we up by like 10 points, right? We cruising. His daughter was a good ball player. Jill could play, but we had her kind of locked up. So as we're leaving to go into the locker rooms, Jim Kelly's leaning over the rail going, yeah, they ain't got, and he was kind of red faced. I think they might have just came from some pub or something like that. But anyway, this is before the cancer and all that stuff. And like I said, prayers to Jim. I'm glad you're doing well, man. God bless you. I'm glad to
Absolutely.
still have you around, man. No doubt about it, Jimbo. But anyway, he's leaning over the rail. He's going, yeah, 10 points is nothing in basketball. They ain't got nothing. So as I walk by, I look up and he's looking at me. He's looking at me like, yeah, yeah, giving me the Jim Kelly face. And I just pointed to the scoreboard. I said, can you add Jim? Oh, you wait, coach. You wait, coach. You wait. So him and his brothers but it was all in fun. But so I come out, and so Jim's like, we ain't forgotten about you, coach. We ain't forgotten about you.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
me and my brothers. Yeah, we're here, coach. I said, hey man, y'all not playing, so it don't matter. We gonna spank y'all, and we spanked them after the game. Walking out, here comes Jim, and Jim's a big boy.
Uh-huh.
Jim's a big country boy from Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes over and says, hey, coach, man, great game, man. Great. It was all in fun. I said, I get it, Jim. No thing. So to his credit, I like Jim Kelly as he got older. Because
Mm-hmm.
when he first got here, dude, he was doing some stuff, you know. I mean, one time he got in trouble for hitting a chick with a water balloon while she was drinking a beer, chipped her teeth, just wild Jim Kelly stuff. But as years have progressed, um, Jim has been great, man. He really has, man. And he's a very approachable dude now. Same with Thurman, because like I said, Thurman's in the in the area. He's got a construction company. He's doing pretty well. Um, and his son played basketball at Canisius High School. So you would see Thurman at the games, man, and he would just be chilling by himself. People wouldn't bother him. He never pulled the I'm Thurman Thomas, Thurman Thomas card as he got older. So I really have been impressed with those dudes as they've gotten older. Bruce Smith comes back to town because he sponsors a golf tournament for the victims of the Tops shooting. So yeah, a lot of the Bills alumni have gotten involved, and even though they live elsewhere, they still come back, and they come back to the area all the time. Let me take this call really quick, Don. Excuse me.
Oh yeah, go ahead and take the call. While Mike takes the call, let me go ahead and just take this time to say that in Mike's whole story there, what you didn't hear was him justify any real justification for taking Jim Kelly over Troy Aikman. So I appreciate the great story. I appreciate the great story. It was a great story. I love
So you
girls
talking
basketball.
about what Super Bowl victories do? Is that what you're talking
I'm
about?
just saying, man. I don't,
Is that what we're talking about?
I don't think I ain't never heard. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I ain't never heard nobody say seriously that they would take Jim Kelly over Troy Aikman. That's all I'm saying. But shout out to Jim Kelly. He is from PA, so I got love for
Listen,
him.
well, if you put Jim Kelly on the '90s Cowboys, does he have 3 or 4 Super Bowls?
No,
Why not?
because he was a turnover machine. That's why. Come on, you
You know
know that.
why? You know why? You want me to give you the reason why for that?
We already know what it is. We said that at the beginning of the podcast. We talked about the spread offense
Not only
and
that,
all
didn't have
that.
a line like Dallas. Dallas had the greatest offensive line to ever grace a football field. Mark
Wait a
Tuinei, all them dudes, man. Big Larry Williams and all them dudes. Eric Williams and all them dudes. Nate Newton. They had the greatest offensive line, dude. You
no no
couldn't.
no 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 no. Hold on now.
What?
I'm not a Buffalo fan, but I know for sure. Buffalo has some guys on that line that were good. Now, come on, Mike. Y'all
What,
went
your
to four
offensive
straight
line?
Super Bowl.
Offensive
Yeah.
line? Of course they were. But the bottom line was they didn't have Dallas's offensive line.
Well, the bottom line, this goes back to what we said. What I was telling you on the beginning of the show, that you don't need to run a spread offense to win in the National Football League. Dallas showed you that. I mean, it's no different. I mean, I don't care what nobody says. I know it's 2023 and everybody thinks that you got to throw the ball around the field. Dallas showed you that you don't have to play like that. And I'm not even a Dallas fan. Matter of fact, let me come up to 2022. The 2022 Philadelphia Eagles showed you that you don't have to throw the ball all over the field to win. That's one of the reasons that a lot of you out here are disrespecting Jalen Hurts, because you don't think that Jalen Hurts is on a level of Josh Allen or Joe Burrows or who am I missing? Josh Allen, Patrick
But
Mahomes, of course.
who's disrespecting Jalen Hurts?
There's a
Who
lot
is?
of talk out there in the media. The Athletic just did a top quarterback countdown, and they had Jalen Hurts, I believe, at like number 10. I mean, come on, that's absurd, man.
It
That's
is.
absurd.
But we're talking about the quote unquote experts, Don. I mean, come on, man. You got to take what they say with a grain of salt. These people, the majority of these experts never played the game. We understand that, right?
100%.
Okay, then. So, from the perspective of a football fan or a football uh, lover, like you are, like I am, we immediately acknowledge the work that Jalen Hurts put in from his rookie year to his second year. So, experts be damned. Okay, the eye test says it all. Again, the Super Bowl, they lost. Philly lost because of their defense, not because of Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts had what, a fumble? That was the only faux pas he had.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Jalen Hurts is a top 5 quarterback in this league. Do you
Easy.
understand what I'm saying to you? He's a
Easy.
top 5 because I see it. You see it. You know the game. The fact that this dude put in the work to drastically
Mm-hmm.
improve from his rookie year to his second year, I don't care what the experts say. They didn't know a damn thing. So you, as a fan, and everyone out there as fans, I understand the devotion and the support and the rah-rah for your people. But you can't read into nothing an expert say. Jalen Hurts ain't reading into that. You can't read into that. He's shown what he can do, and he's shown how much better he is. So guess what? It's nowhere. If he put in that much work from rookie year to second year, it's going to be a real problem this year.
Mm-hmm.
They're winning their division. It's not an issue. Okay. Postseason, barring injury, catastrophic
Mm-hmm.
injury. That is, the Eagles are winning the NFC East, right? They're winning that.
Bart,
Okay,
well, you got Dallas. Dallas is going to be a tough challenge.
Dallas has Dak. Like Dak, love Dak, but Dak ain't that dude. Not to me. He hasn't proven it yet. He has not proven it yet. Has he proven it to you yet?
No, not yet.
Be it a fantasy football owner or the eye test by Don. Is he that dude yet?
I wouldn't say so. No, no.
Okay then. Daniel Jones, is Daniel Jones that dude?
Daniel Jones from New York? No, hell no.
We're
Heck no.
talking
Come on,
NFC East.
no,
NFC East, stay with me. Okay.
no.
So is for the Redskins, I'm sorry, for the Commanders,
Mm-hmm.
forgive me, y'all. Is Mike Hicks that dude?
No, Mike Hicks. I don't know who. You know the quarterback for the Commanders?
That's what I'm asking you.
That's it.
Is Mike Hicks
Sam,
that dude for the Commanders? Because that's about what shape they're in.
right. Sam Howell is his actual name, but no, I don't believe
Thurston
he is.
Howell.
Yeah, Thurston and Lovey.
Ooh wee.
Mm-mm.
I think they were better with Heineke.
They probably were. Heineke
I
messed
think,
around and got
I
a.
think they were better off with Heineke. I liked Heineke. I
Yeah,
really did because
he's
he was
feisty.
gutsy. He was a
Yeah,
gutsy. There you go. He was a gutsy dude. And a lot of times it's not about talent. It's about that that intestinal fortitude, man. And he had it, man. And I think those guys, you've seen the Redskins. I mean, because they kind of won some games late. They were kind of like Detroit, and just kind of up against the wall. Won some games late because Heineke was feisty, and McLaurin is a top tier wide receiver. He just needs a real quarterback. You know what I mean?
Scary Terry.
Dotson is good. Dotson
Mm-hmm.
is good. Chris Samuel, he still got some wheels on him if you can use him right. Like I said, it's all about the quarterback. It's such a team game. Again, let's go back to the whole thing about Troy Aikman versus Jim Kelly. Dallas had a better team all the time, and they proved that. They beat the
Well,
Bills
let me take.
twice in the Super Bowl, dude.
Let's just
They had a
start
better
counting.
team.
Hold on. Let me just challenge that a little bit. You keep going back to this. You keep because you talking about the Bills like y'all were like the little sisters of the poor. You had
They were when the lights came on. They were
nah, man. You had Bruce Smith, who's
Hall
the
of Famer.
second greatest pass rusher of all time, maybe third greatest, I'll say, behind LT and Reggie. Third greatest pass rusher of all time.
What?
Come on, man. Let me keep going, bro. You can't keep
No, Bruce Smith is better
what
than
I
Lawrence Taylor.
oh you got come on. You got to stop it.
You
Are
know
you
why?
serious?
Just simply based, and I'm a
Stop.
linebacker. Hold on, and
Stop.
I'm an ex
Come
linebacker,
on,
so you know I
man.
love Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Taylor was my hero and inspiration. But Lawrence Taylor, an outside linebacker, is nothing like a defensive end when
Hold
it comes
on.
to what they have to deal with.
Hold on, man. Let me. This is. We're being serious. You seriously believe that? You don't
Believe
seriously
what?
believe that Bruce Smith was better than LT as a pass rusher?
I do
Oh my god! I don't know how you could possibly believe that. That's crazy.
because
It's not crazy. I'm not gonna
LT,
say it's not crazy, but I just
no
disagree with it.
LT, who, like I said, who I love and who was the finest linebacker I've ever seen with my eyes in my lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, um, when you're a linebacker, and especially a superior linebacker like LT was, you have the ability to roam. You have the ability to abandon your duties because you're that good. So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times, Bruce, LT freelanced a lot, and Bill Parcells will tell you that a majority of the time when LT was a rookie and second year player, he improvised the majority of the plays he made. The majority of the sacks that he got, and stuff, they weren't even by design. Okay, now you're talking about Bruce Smith played, especially in the early '90s, in the era of the greatest left tackles the game has ever seen. You know what I mean? We used to bump heads with Cincinnati. They had Anthony Munoz, Hall of Famer left tackle. You okay? When we had to tangle with Dallas, they had either Eric Williams or Mark Tuinei over there, big giant Samoan dude. What they had this Patriots within our division had Bruce Armstrong. Okay, the Dolphins had Richmond Webb. They got all these great offensive tackles because of who? Bruce Smith.
Bruce.
There you go. So when I say based on task alone of the
Mm-hmm.
job, let me just break it down.
Mm-hmm.
On the task and the obstacles of the job, Bruce Smith is a way better sack artist than LT. No question about it. Based on the duties alone. To LT's credit, LT was such a vicious pass rusher. He's the one that changed the formation to tackles standing up on twos as opposed to 3-point stands because he was so blazingly quick. So yeah, whenever you're like a Wilt Chamberlain or a Lawrence Taylor, when they change the rules of the game for you, you're one of the greatest who ever done it. So no, LT, love LT, dude. I'm a former linebacker. He was the book by which we read in the 80s. You understand? But yeah, if you're talking about sacking somebody, and the only reason Reggie White is better than Bruce is Reggie was crazy strong.
That's right.
Bruce's sacks were a combination of speed and strength. Nobody could get low like Bruce. Bruce was 6'4". When he came around that corner, he was 5'2". So if you're a 6'7" tackle trying to block this dude, you ain't gonna get him.
That's what they call he had great bend. He could bend.
Yeah, he could dip. You understand? LT didn't have to dip. He was also 6'3", 240 pounds of pissed off.
Yeah, he was amazing.
Negro linebacker. So he has nothing you could do with that. Reggie was the master, the all-time master of the bull rush.
And the hump move.
Then the hump move. The dude, man, throw that arm up under you, man. He could throw you. He could throw a 300-pound man 10 yards.
Throw him right out the way. He did that. He used to make Larry Allen like a little boy out there.
This is what I'm saying. So yeah, when you're talking about 1 and 2, okay. Like I said, Reggie, his strength, and he was very quick. He wasn't as fast as Bruce. He was very quick. He was quick like Bruce. He could get where he had to get. But his brute strength, dude, most of his sacks came from him driving somebody into a quarterback.
Yeah, sure.
Grabbing them up by shoulder pads and just walking them into the quarterback. So yeah, when we're talking about the greats, yeah. But that's why, Don, I say that Bruce Smith is a better sack artist than LT. Period.
LT is the reason that I wore number 56 in high school. LT was the reason that I used to get in trouble in high school as an inside technique defensive tackle because I thought that I was supposed to swim technique all the time. You know what I mean? LT was the one that basically created the swim technique. I could never understand what I was playing as a defensive tackle. Why can't I just swim past the guard? I mean, that's the easiest. The guard or the center.
Right.
It's so easy.
Coach, what you doing, man?
Yeah, what you doing? We would get out there in the Oklahoma drills. 2 linemen, linebacker, running back. I get out there, woof, I'm swimming past my guy every time. I'm getting to the running back. Coach is like, no, we want you to drive him back. I'm like, what's the purpose out here? I thought the purpose was to stop the running back, but it wasn't. That was from me watching LT so much that they didn't want you to do. They wanted you to take on blockers, and of course, we had to free the game up for who? The linebackers.
No doubt about it.
I had to free up for the linebackers.
Okay. So stop right there. What you just say?
Football is what I call that.
What you just say?
Hold on.
What you just say?
Listen, the Hurricanes basically eliminated that style of football too. If you remember, because they let their they let their tackles eat. Jerome Brown, Warren Sapp, Cortez Kennedy, Russell Maryland.
They were phenomenal. They were pros in college too.
Yeah, they let them eat.
Yeah.
And their linebackers were quick enough to recover.
Okay, but can we rewind? Just go slightly. Back. Just rewind the tape just a bit. So you said the defensive lineman freed up stuff for who?
The linebacker.
Okay. Thus, my opinion that Bruce Smith, because of the obstacles in front of him, and to still get to the quarterback at an insane rate, he was a better pass rusher than LT. That's it.
Okay, I'll give you that. But LT was just a better football player. He was better.
You had to give me that. LT is arguably one of the best football players to play the game.
I will concede that.
Matter of fact, I will say that he's the greatest because if you can envision Lawrence Taylor playing tight end and it not be an absolute fallacy or dream, he's one of the greatest ever do it. I seen this dude run back a 97-yard interception against Detroit, picked that joint off on the 3, and there wasn't anybody in sight. He ran by himself. He was a gifted athlete who could have played multiple positions. He wanted to play safety. Bill Parcells told him, man, get down there with the linebacker. He said, I know you can play safety, but I don't need you at safety.
Right.
You understand?
He was good enough to go out there and basically create a whole new thing.
The greatest football player that I've ever seen. I'll just put it that way. Because when I give you that title, it has to be a realistic expectation that you'll be able to play another position. and play it well. You know what I mean? And I'm not just talking about a cornerback going to safety, which is an adjustment and that's a great display of athleticism and intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
But I could put Lawrence Taylor at tight end and he would eat.
100%
Yeah.
monster.
So yeah, that we agree upon. He is the greatest football player that I have ever seen
I
at
agree.
56 years old.
Yeah, he was a monster. He was a monster. Not only that, and this goes into my next thing. I want to hit you with this week here in the Philadelphia area. Philadelphia Eagle fans were celebrating because they got the return of, and I don't know if you can tell, the Kelly Green. The Kelly Green is going to come back this year to the Philadelphia Eagles. That's going to be one of their alternate jerseys
I
this
love
year.
it. I
Guess
love
what,
it.
though? This is what's funny. Guess who they're going to be wearing that uniform against this year? There's 3 games. Can you guess who one of those teams will be?
Buffalo.
The Buffalo Bills. Will get the chance to see the gangrene, like back in the day when Randall escaped the clutches of Bruce Smith in Orchard Park
I was there.
and hit
I
Freddie
was there.
Barnett.
I was
And
there.
let me set it up for the people. Hit Freddie
I
Barnett
was there.
for what? A 90-plus yard touchdown.
98-yard touchdown in the middle of the field because I want to say it was J.D. Williams, who was one of our first round draft picks at corner, was boo boo. Boo boo. He used to get beat like a drum. But anyway, it was back at Kevin Barnett, and it was a throw up. I mean, and Randall just chucked it as long as he could. Barnett positioned this dude and was gone. It was 98 yards. I was in Rich Stadium that Sunday.
Are you was there?
Yeah, because I wanted to see Randall Cunningham.
Okay.
I seen the Bills. Man, that's my team. They ain't nothing
So
new there.
we're going to relive that again this year. Only it's going to be Jalen Hurts to A.J. Brown.
You know what? And I really can't argue that because defense is our liability right now. We picked up nobody of impact on defense. Matter of fact, we were cash strapped to where we didn't pick up anybody of any significance at any position, brother. Zero. We picked up James White.
Mm-hmm.
James White was good.
You're running back,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, he was good. What, in the Super Bowl against Atlanta when he was the MVP? That was the last time he was good.
Mm-hmm.
We picked him up, and you let Devin Singletary go and pick this dude up.
Yeah,
I know he's the value in the running back, but come on, man. And I'll say it again. Devin Singletary is going to wind up eating just as much, or if not more, than Damon Pierce down in Texas. Quote me on that. He's with the Houston Texans. When they see the running back that they have, and if they implement him correctly, he is going to eat more, if not the same, than Damon Pierce. Quote me on that. What's the date today? August 6th, 2023. The Underway Podcast. Mike Hicks said it.
All right, there we go. Well, what I was saying was how I got us into that was talking about the return of the Kelly Greens.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
And my thing is, I wanted to ask you, what do you think are the 5 best jerseys, color combos in the NFL? I'll give you one right off the top of my head. The Lawrence Taylor 1980 Giants 56. Give me the white one. The white Giants 56. I believe
that was dope.
That's an iconic jersey.
That was dope. That was dope. My favorite. As a matter of fact, this is a shout out to our boy Sweet Pea. When he was growing up in Lackawanna,
Mm-hmm.
they had the Raiders colors. They were silver and black. They were silver and black. And I also have a throwback 1977 Oakland, not Los Angeles, not Las Vegas, Oakland Raiders Jack Tatum jersey with the silver numbers. So yeah, give me the Raiders black jerseys with the silver numbers, dude. It's so basic, no stripes, no nothing. That's just straight up pirates and criminality. So yeah, I like that. That's mine, right? That's one of mine. What about another one of yours?
Another one of mine, and this is funny, and this is going to be crazy enough. It's going to be one of them Charger jerseys from back in the day. Back in the day when I was coming up, like let's say early 80s, for some reason, I'm not going to say for some reason, the late game was always, I always felt like the Chargers were on in those late games. Mm-hmm. The 4:00 game, it seemed like it was always the San Diego Chargers on with Dan Fouts. So once again, give me their white jersey, the white Chargers jersey. I'll take a white Chargers Kellen Winslow jersey. It's something just as a color scheme. Not that I'm saying it's the most iconic number in the world, but it's just the way the jersey looked. I think the jersey and the color scheme was always kind of fly to me. Plus, that was
Okay.
my high school colors, blue and gold. Even though they don't call it blue and gold, they call that blue and yellow. But the Downingtown team that I graduated from, blue and gold, that's what we kind of look like, the San Diego Chargers.
Okay. Uh, one of my all-time favorites, and will always be, and if I can get my hands on one, I will buy one. Um, give me a white creamsicle Doug Williams jersey.
Oh, that's hard right there.
Yeah,
Definitely.
man. I don't think they
Buccaneers?
should. Yeah, I don't think they ever should have abandoned them colors,
Yeah,
dude.
they was fly for sure.
Yeah, the creamsicle joints. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Give me a white creamsicle Doug Williams jersey. I
Yeah,
think I
definitely.
think I'm gonna go shopping after we get off this podcast. I got to have one.
I like that. I like that. And one that's making a comeback this year is the old
Mhm.
school Houston Oilers alternate jersey. The Tennessee Titans are going to be wearing the Houston
The
Oilers jerseys from back
sky
in the
blue
day.
joints.
The sky blue joints.
No
Yes.
question.
Give me
No
that.
question.
Give
Oh,
me that
yeah.
Earl Campbell joint.
All I see is Earl or either Kenny Burrell.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. The 00 Kenny Burrell. I wanted that one in powder blue.
Kenny Burrow.
Kenny Burrell was their main receiver, man, back in the day. You got to remember, Don. I got a few years on you,
Yeah. I'm
and
like, who's that?
I'm a football purist. Matter of fact, while we're talking, punch up Kenny Burrow, Burrough. Kenny Burrow.
He has some
Yes, sir.
numbers.
He was pretty good, man. He was the receiver in Houston
Okay. Before
prior
the House
to
of
the.
Pain.
Oh yeah.
Before the run
He
and
was
shoot.
like, yeah, he was like when Dan Pastorini first got there. That was his
Oh
man.
yeah. There we
That
go.
was his man, Kenny Burrow. 00, the only dude in the league besides Jim Otto, who was the center for the Oakland Raiders at the time, with a 00. And that was cold too. Jim Otto as a center, he had the regular crossbar with a horseshoe joint right there with 00 and the black with the silver. Man, played silver numbers.
Nice.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's football
Nice.
right there. That's football right there. Yeah, yeah. Listen,
Nice.
there's an
Nice.
encyclopedia up here, y'all. You know, I used to smoke weed when I was younger, but it really didn't damage my long-term memory. So I'm cool. I'm just, I remember all this stuff.
Well, that,
It is what it is.
well, let me give you the black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. Let me give you the Pittsburgh Steelers black jerseys with the yellow numbers, and give me Lynn Swan, who we shouted out earlier in the podcast. Oh, matter of fact, no, don't give me that one. Give me
Ooh,
Mean Joe Green, 78. Give me one of them balls on defense.
75.
LC
75.
Greenwood.
75, man.
75, my bad.
Don't blaspheme.
Who was
Jim
78
Green.
then? Who was 78?
White.
Yeah,
Dwight
okay, I was
White.
going to say. I knew it was one of them balls now. Hold on now. LC
How
Greenwood.
about this? How about this? Before you go referring to some old teams, check with Mike first. Okay? Elsie Greenwood,
Wait a
6'8".
minute.
6'6". He was 6'7" and wore number 68 with the yellow Adidas spikes.
Yes, sir. The yellow joints.
Then you had number 63, who was the silent killer on that defensive line. Can you name him? Went on to be a wrestler afterwards.
Oh man, let me see. Dusty Rhodes.
Nope.
I don't. Who was it?
Ernie Holmes.
Ernie Holmes. Dang, I should know this kind of stuff, man.
So that was a steel curtain. You had
Absolutely.
Joe Green and Ernie Holmes with an interior. The White, and LC Greenwood were the exterior.
And Mean Joe Green had the best commercial of all time too. Like, remember that one? Hey kid,
of course. Of course, man. You kidding me? It humanized Joe Green.
Absolutely, because we thought he was crazy before that. Everybody like, oh man,
Mean Joe Green. You can't go wrong with that.
To those of you who may not remember, it was Mean Joe Green after a tough game. I guess it looked like he was thirsty. It was a commercial for Coca-Cola. Little boy walks up to him, gives him a Coke, and as he's leaving the kid, he throws the kid his jersey. He says, "Hey kid, catch," and throws him his football jersey. So yeah, Mean Joe Green, definitely give me that black and yellow. You got another one?
Mean Joe.
You got another one?
Another jersey?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to go with the Kelly Green, Philadelphia Eagles, number 7.
I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry, man. No disrespect, Jaws. Ron Jaworski.
That was one for the homie. So that was for Sweet Pea.
Lackawanna.
Lackawanna, LA's finest, man. Ron Jaworski was he was an all around that hell of a basketball player, baseball player. Yeah, Ron Jaworski was cold blooded. Went to Youngstown State and made the pros, man.
Okay,
Hell of an athlete. Hell
that's a
of an
good one.
athlete.
That's a good one, man. That's a good one. All right, let me give you my final one. My final
Okay.
jersey is
Okay.
going to be the Monsters of the Midway, Chicago Bears. Give me a number 51 jersey in honor of Dick Butkus, linebacker for the
That
Chicago
that
Bears.
that that's a football jersey. That
Football.
that's a football jersey for
You
your
can wear that
ass.
today and you still be in
You can
style.
wear that dirty. You have to wear that dirty. It can't be clean. It don't look
Nah.
right. So if you get a brand new Dick Buckers jersey, go out in the yard and wiggle around like your back itch like a dog. And then you show up to the picnic with that joint. And
Absolutely.
that's it. That belongs, it needs dirt. It needs soldier field dirt on it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
100%.
that was good. That was a good segment, bro. That was good. That was
That's
cool.
good,
That
man.
was cool.
Now,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
last thing here I want to talk about with Mike, people been commenting. I think we would, in our little text group, they were like, "Oh yeah, it's cool because you and Mike, you agree, and then sometimes you disagree." You see today that we had a nice little debate on, who we thought should be regarded higher in terms of receivers and
Yeah,
things like
because you
that.
were disrespectful.
I sent Mike something in the
You were
rundown.
disrespectful. That's why we had a disagreement.
There was a
You're
debate
you
earlier in the
you trying
summer.
to ignore it, y'all.
There was a debate earlier in the summer.
Go ahead.
There was a debate earlier in the summer that I ran by Mike, and I feel as though Mike was being a little disrespectful. What was the debate, you may ask? I'm
Yeah,
going
I
to give
want to
you
hear this.
3 names: Greenwood, Archwood, and Prime. If we think about that singularly, that don't mean nothing to you. But if we
Don't
take
mean
the
nothing to me.
first letters of each of those names, GAP, we have the greatest R&B singer, perhaps of all time, and Mr. Charlie Wilson. In the beginning of the summer, somebody, I don't know who it was, on social media, there was a little social media debate going on. Somebody made the audacious statement, or the audacity, temerity, what do you want to say that Luther Vandross, or rather that Charlie Wilson, was a better singer than Luther Vandross. And
Who
I
said
thought to
that?
him, somebody on, one of these people on, it was Tank, the R&B
Okay,
singer.
okay,
It was,
okay,
oh,
okay.
hold on, it was an expert too. Tank, the R&B
What?
singer. He's a singer, right? He's a freaking R&B singer. He's an expert. Let me finish, brother. So I thought to myself, man, that's crazy. Why would anybody say? Why would he say that? So then I said, well, let me bring up my Apple Music and let me start listening. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. When I started to listen to the music, I said, oh my God, he's right. Charlie Wilson is probably a better singer than Luther Vandross. As crazy as that may sound to some of y'all out there, not only that, but do you realize this? That Charlie Wilson may be the most imitated and duplicated and copied singer in R&B music. I give you R. Kelly. I give you Aaron Hall. I give you what's my man? He used to sing he was in that one group. I can't even think of it. I'm about to come back to it. I got stumbled. It's only because he only had one song. Let me lay you down. I forgot who the boy's name is. Whatever his name was, but I'll come back next podcast and I'll give it to you. But anyway, Aaron Hall built a whole career off of copying and trying to sound like Charlie Wilson. R. Kelly, if we take away his controversy and all his nonsense, he built a whole career trying to sound like Charlie Wilson. I love Luther. Luther is great. Luther can only sing one style of music. That's one thing that separates Charlie Wilson from him. Luther has only one jam that you can really play at the cookout, and that's Never Too Much. What other song are you going to play at the cookout with Luther? Give it to me. Name one song that you can play with Luther at the cookout.
Bad boy. It's over now. He had a bunch of good fast songs, dude. Are you nuts? First and foremost, okay. You know what? I'm
I
sorry.
hate to say it,
Y'all.
that was a
Hold
good
on, y'all.
counter. That was a good
I know,
counter.
I know it. I know what this is, y'all. I know what it is, man. I
What
peep
is it?
game. I peep game. This is Don trying to. I've already expressed to him who I consider and who many in the world consider a better singer and probably the greatest balladeer, especially of my
No,
lifetime. But
no argument on the balance.
okay, no, we have to understand this. Okay, when you're talking about imitation is a serious form of flattery. That's the saying, right?
Correct.
So you're talking about an Aaron Hall and R. Kelly or whatever. It really doesn't take that much skill. And no disrespect to Uncle Charlie. It doesn't take much to imitate that voice.
I'll stop it. That's,
I'm
come
riding
on.
on time, everything gonna be alright. Round and round, ooh dude, that ain't nothing. You ain't
Stop
even
it.
you ain't even clearing
Stop.
your throat in that joint. So with the reason that you first of all, the reason Luther dominated during his era is because there was a unique voice, a unique sound. The only competitor he had was Freddie Jackson. And
What?
that was a split based on the fact that no other balladeers were in the area but Freddie Jackson. You dig what I'm saying? Because you had Peebo, you had all them other dudes that came a little bit, before Luther and things like that. But when Luther hit the scene, bruh, it was a wrap. It was a wrap. He dominated based on the fact that we had never heard a voice like that. We've heard many beautiful voices throughout the history of R&B. And you talking to somebody who studied a majority of them. I had never heard anyone like Luther. Okay, so if you're talking about, I know you ain't talking record sales because we're doing this Hall of Fame thing again. You ain't talking record sales. Luther's still selling records and been gone. Okay, Uncle Charlie, I love what he's done in the last 5 years, dude. I love it, and I'm happy for him because if you
That's
know his story, man, listen, not many people come back from that.
first of all, you cannot say, let me counter that. You cannot say that he has only been good or the last 5 years. Are you kidding me?
No, no, no.
Go
I'm
back,
talking about.
go
I'm,
back,
no, I'm
go.
talking about. I'm talking about his resurgence. That's all I'm saying. I'm not talking. I'm
Okay,
talking about. Yeah, his resurgence.
go back to the
Because
70s.
no, 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 no. Don, what I'm saying is his story. If we know his story,
Mm-hmm.
where there was that gap in his life that he was actually. I mean, my brother was living on Skid Row in
Mm-hmm.
California.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so to be able to, first of all, and then I think it was a story I saw. It was him and the lady that he's seeing now. She was very integral in him getting back on track. So what I'm saying is I respect Uncle Charlie for what he's done, what he's gone through, and to be able now, this dude is getting guest spots with young up and coming R&B. They're paying homage to him. So I'm very happy for Uncle Charlie, and I love him, man. I love him. Like I said, yearning for your love and all that. Come on, man. That's my high school stuff right there. So I love Charlie Wilson.
So let's say
But
this.
but for
With
you to blaspheme like you have,
Outstanding.
talking about this dude is a better singer than Luther Vandross.
Yes.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah. I mean,
Go ahead. Go
you know,
ahead.
we
I'm
can,
ignoring you now. Go ahead, man. Y'all going. Y'all
what
talk to him.
I want
Y'all
y'all to
talk to him.
I want
We
y'all to
should.
think about it.
Come
Think
on,
about
we got to do the chat button on this joint too sometime, man. We got to do
absolutely.
that
Yeah, yeah.
because
Well,
this is
they can chat. People feel free to comment. Please comment in the comment section. Put your
nah. You
opinion out
talking
there.
crazy
I'm not talking
as
crazy because y'all
yes you
know and I
are.
know that when you add a Black Family Reunion, y'all know when they put on Outstanding, everybody getting up and dancing. You
Can I
put
can I
on,
ask you? Can I ask you? Was that Charlie Wilson or was that Gap Band?
come on, bro. That's like saying were the
Was
Jackson
it Charlie
Five
Wilson or was it Gap Band?
was the Jackson Five Tito or was it Michael? Stop playing with me, man. Stop
Was it
playing.
Gap Band or Charlie?
It
Was Gap
was
Band?
Charlie, first name Charlie, last name Wilson.
So that was him. It wasn't the Gap Band,
Lead
right?
singer, lead singer Charlie Wilson.
But that doesn't make you the group.
Come on, brother. So we got Outstanding. That when that
Listen,
you know
Luther
he won't answer the question.
Vandross. Those were the two. Luther
Your Honor,
Vandross. That was it.
Your Honor, when he will not answer the question,
He
you're at the
wasn't even Charlie Wilson and the Gap Band. He was in the Gap Band, and I don't have a problem with
he's
him
a
being a
team
unit.
player.
I don't have a problem with that. But yes, if you're talking about cookout joints, I think they even.
No
I
way.
think they
Stop
even.
playing, man. How can you say
Hey,
that?
okay, throw me the Gap Band's cookout joints. Go
I
ahead.
just
I'm
gave it
about.
to you. I gave it to you. Outstanding. That's number one.
You gave me one. I gave
You
you two or
you
three of
dropped
Luther's.
you dropped the bomb on me.
Okay.
Ooh, come on, brother. Early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Party Train.
Mm-hmm. Party Train is
Humping.
whack. Party Train is
Dude,
whack.
you're crazy. Humping.
We ain't listening to that. I have my
Humping.
party train. Now, that's not a cookout joint.
Shake. Come on, man. I can keep going on here, man.
Okay, oops upside your head. I go with that.
Absolutely. Come
Oops
on, bro.
upside your head. Humping. I go with
Yes,
that.
sir. Come
Oh,
on,
let me see.
man.
Let me see. Okay. So, all right. Well, let's do the flip side of that.
Go
Right?
ahead. What's the flip side?
You're at a candlelight dinner with the one you love.
Absolutely.
Okay. And you want music to set the mood.
Sure.
Give me something beside yearning for your love that will set the mood in a candlelight dinner atmosphere.
Oh, well, I'm gonna put on There Goes My Baby. Yes, sir.
You got some
There
more?
goes my baby.
You got some more?
Huh?
That's two. That's two. You got some more?
Absolutely. I got plenty.
Okay. I'm waiting.
Hold on, man. Let me get to my disc.
Yeah, see, because that's what you got to do. See, you got to go find that joint. I can sit up here, I can just give you the Never Too Much album, and that's candlelight worthy right there.
Sure. What I say? There goes my baby, right?
Okay, I'm waiting. Okay, I mean, this is what I'm saying. Dead air is dangerous
Yeah, it
in
is.
media. Okay, so I want you to tell me again. Give me the reverse. Okay, you gave me the party jams, right? Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the yard. I'm looking at my yard right now, y'all. That's why I'm pointing this way. I'm looking in the yard, right? I'm on the grill. Uncle Charlie, you got me hump. Yeah, okay. We getting it on.
You
We getting it
got
in.
me humping,
Yes.
baby.
Yeah, we yeah, night, oh baby. Humping in the key one. That's
You
all that
got me
that's good.
humping. Come on,
Okay.
man.
So we're done with the cookout, Don.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gap Band won that.
Yeah, easily. That was a knockout.
Okay. That wasn't a knockout because here come the
Come
counter
on,
punch.
bro. Go
Here
ahead.
come the counter.
Go
Here come the
ahead.
counter punches.
Go
Here come
ahead.
the counter punches. So now we're talking candlelight dinner, right? You got a little, a couple of glasses of wine, one for you and one for the lovely lady in front of, beautiful plate of food. House is dark, nothing but the light of the candles. And we throw on Luther, right? I'm gonna just go with this one right here and shut the whole thing down. You throwing houses out and not a home, it's a wrap. House is not a home. That's
That's it.
candlelight shit. That's candlelight shit. Now let's go with hmm.
House
I'll
of
go
Hot.
one of his recent joints. Your secret love. That's cool.
Nah, come on, man. Get
Mid
that out of
temple,
here.
mid temple joint.
I
Don't you
mean,
know that? If only for one night.
could have gave
Okay,
me. You could have gave me Promise Me.
well, you
Could have.
named it.
You could have. He
That
could have.
shows you right there. You named it, and you're anti-Luther. You named it,
I'm
so
not
that's
anti-Luther. I didn't say I was anti-Luther. That's not what I said.
you to say anyone is better than Luther. You're
I
anti-Luther. So
said,
anyway,
and also I'll say this. I'll say Luther probably had better material. I won't argue that either. Okay, but I'm talking about
what you mean better
from a
material?
technical standpoint. All right, as an R&B singer, Charlie Wilson, man, come on, bro.
Technical,
You gotta give me respect. Yeah, I said it. Technical.
technical standpoint. So you
Come on,
mean
man.
what? What
What you mean?
Luther used a sound box or voice box or something? Is that what you're saying? What you mean
I'm
technical?
just
What you mean?
saying, Charlie just had a difference. He had a different voice. Man, he has a different voice, brother.
He did.
More soulful.
Exactly. So how can you put a Charlie Wilson up against a balladeer? Now you better off saying Luther against another balladeer. I would go with that. But Charlie Wilson, like you said, he's a party singer. I go with
Yeah,
that.
but he also sang a lot of good ballads. And I'll tell you
One
what I'm
or
gonna do.
two.
Huh?
One or two. One or
No,
two.
that Gap
You
Band had
talking
a
Gap Band or solo?
huh?
You talking Gap
Both.
Band or solo?
Both. They had both. Come on, bro.
Man, get out of here, man. Get out of here, man.
You know what?
Has,
Anybody out
has,
there that's
has
a Gap
Charlie
Band
Wilson
fan, if you're a Gap Band fan out there, put it in the comments. Put your favorite songs in the comment. Luther fans, put your songs in the comment. If you
this
think
dude's
I'm
gonna get
crazy,
landslide. I'm looking at joints I forgot about Luther.
if y'all
I'm just looking.
listen,
I'm looking at all these. I'm looking at joints that was in movie soundtrack because of Luther. Dude,
like
Stop the Love.
that's okay.
Okay,
That's
how
kind
about
of
this?
that's what the kids would call mid.
Okay, cool. How many times can we say goodbye with Dionne Warwick? So amazing.
That's good.
Love
That's good.
has. There you
That's
go. Don't
good. That's
stop
a
with me,
great one.
man. Yeah, man. Here and now. That's another great one, dude. Come on, dude. Are you
That was
kidding me?
actually that's the song me and my wife danced to on our wedding day.
Y'all didn't dance to the Gap Band?
Well, I wasn't up on Gap Band then.
Y'all didn't dance to the Gap
I tell you, we did during the
Band? This
upbeat parts.
conversation's over, party people. We're done. We're done. We're
Like
done.
I said,
I think even me and my wife had a Luther joint. I think we had Here and Now.
oh really? Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're
Hard to
Here and
argue with it.
Now.
Hard to argue with it.
Okay, then. So this conversation's over.
Let us know in the comments what you think about this one.
This man did
Charlie
not
Wilson versus Luther Vandross. Back me up, Charlie Wilson fans out there. Please back me up.
Hold on. Kenya!
Back me up. Back me up.
I'm going to get
back
the
me up.
Input. I'm getting the input of a female fan. Now,
back me up.
And listen, I'll defend Luther because I love Luther. I'm a
My heart is yearning for your love. Come on, man.
I go with that. That's dope. You see my finger? That's one. That's one.
Come on now.
That's one. It was cold. That's cold.
More than that. I gave you that. There goes my baby.
Even that is not a candlelight song. We talking candlelight. We talking elegance. See, you talking that gut bucket, backyard. You talking about ribs. I'm talking about steak. Okay. Real quick. Yeah. Don says, Don, please say that blasphemous phrase one more time.
Can she hear me?
No, she can't hear you, but believe me, she can listen. I'm going to tell her what you just said. So
Charlie Wilson is a better soulful singer.
Is a better soulful singer
than Luther Vandross.
Ooh, no way. Oh my goodness.
Well, Kenya probably hasn't. She hasn't taken the time to listen.
He said you haven't taken the time to listen.
Oh my gosh.
Who doesn't know that? I can call my 17-year-old daughter down here and she would say Luther.
Everybody out there that's just going off the top of your head say Luther. It's only because of name recognition. It's like choosing like Coca-Cola versus like, let's say like a giant brand of soda. You're gonna take the name brand, but Charlie Wilson. Charlie Wilson.
I got my wife. Wilson. I got my wife calling Princess down here on you, Don.
Charlie Wilson is a better singer. He just is. No disrespect to Luther. Luther's got a great track record.
But what do you mean by better singer?
Sounds better. More soul.
Okay, Princess.
He can listen, and this is why he's better because he can sing fast songs and he can sing up tempo songs. Luther can only do one genre.
I'm on this podcast with my man Don. He says, first of all, let's see if Princess even knows who you're talking about.
Oh, I know she does.
She said Charlie Wilson. You know Charlie Wilson, Uncle Charlie, they call him in R&B.
First name Charlie, last name Wilson.
She said she's heard the name before. You heard of Luther Vandross before, right? Have you heard of Luther? Speak up.
It.
Yes.
Okay. He said Charlie Wilson is a better singer than Luther Vandross. And he's putting this all over the world as we speak.
Absolutely. I'm not afraid.
Have you heard Luther sing? Of course you have, because you live with your daddy, right?
Yes.
Is he one of the best voices you've ever heard?
Yes.
Is he better than Charlie Wilson?
I've never heard a song by him.
There you go. We're done.
Stand out. Yeah.
Well, let me just say this.
No. Outstanding. Girl,
hey.
That song is good, but like,
she said that's good, but
Yeah, okay. You tell Kenya. You ask Kenya when she want. You ask Kenya when she want to get the party started. Is she putting on Charlie first or is she putting on Luther first? Ask her that.
Okay. Don says
since we want to ask our wives.
Right. So since Don says if you want to get the party started, right?
Okay.
We in the backyard, right?
That's right.
You're gonna put on Outstanding or Never Too Much by Luther.
Never Too Much.
Oh, I'm done. I'm done.
He messing with the gate.
Yeah,
I'm done.
It's a wrap.
I'm done.
It's a wrap. Yeah, okay. So we're cool. All right. So I got some backing. I got some backing from the party people.
It's time to sign off, brother. Sign us off, man. I'm done.
All right. Well, listen, folks, thanks for watching. Thanks for being with us. You know, we had some wonderful debates here about how great Andre Reed was versus Michael Irvin. We had some great debates about how Charlie Wilson cannot hold Luther Vandross' feather boa. You know, we we can't do it. So, again, this is the Underweight Podcast. I am your man, Mike, the golden voice, the People's Choice Hicks. And you are?
This is Don. Charlie Wilson is better than Luther Vandross Anderson. Please back me up in the comments, people. Let's go. I need you. Step up.
All right, are we going out with a little MCM jazz, man?
Yes, sir.
All right, because I have to do the command. Hey, Google. NCM jazz for the party people out here. All right.
And y'all, and listen, while he's doing that, y'all put on some Charlie Wilson Gap Band, and you'll know why I say this. I'm not crazy.
Oh no, man, you ain't right, bro. I don't know. We're having a little malfunction. So, yeah, this is what we'll do. Go out with a Charlie Wilson song.
Outstanding. Girl, you knock me out. Exciting. Yay.
Makes me
want to shout.
Yeah, no doubt. He gets that, man. But other than that, peace and love, y'all. See y'all next time.
See y'all on the other side.
Oh, see ya on the other side.